Hi, everybody. Welcome in. I'm your master cosmologist and the head cheerleader to the stars, here with a forecast for the day. As I sit down to record, I'm extremely tired and I actually don't even feel like I want to do a message today, which is very atypical. It's not typical. I am pretty much tarot obsessed and this is my jam. So there's something going on right now with feeling kind of done, very done. I'm hearing been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Venus is at the final degree of Pisces, and that's definitely the source of this feeling. Also contributing is the fact that the sun is at 9 degrees of Taurus. This is either a raging bull with red eyes, snorting steam coming out of its nostrils, a Red Bull, or a bull that you cannot budge. It's just a cow plopped down, heavy as can be, and you can't get it to move for the life of you. It doesn't want to go anywhere. It's like, I'm not budging. The moon's in Gemini right now, probably adding to the, what is this feeling? What am I tapping exactly? Like kind of a protest. Like I just don't want to. Like I don't want to. It's kind of complainy pants. And the earth is at 9 degrees of Scorpio, meaning protect the action, take the action. It's a devil with its little prod and it's poking you in the ass. It's poking you in the astro. Do it. It's very, it's like a dom energy. It's a master and it's going to make you do that thing, whether you like it or not. So there's that. I was given a very specific visual in the shower before I came to do the reading. On the radio came the song Die a Happy Man by Thomas Rhett. And I was seeing Venus, like just a woman actually, a nondescript woman, sitting at a kitchen table listening to this song. It's 333, interestingly, that adds to a 9. And it's arrows, the Sag arrow. 3 is Sagittarius, so it's kind of got this trajectory. Take the action, like go, go, go. So duly noted, taking the action, pushing past the resistance, pushing past the resistance between the ears is what I think is the number one thing today, where you have to surmount this old stubbornness, this old resistance. Ooh, I accidentally hit Spotify with my finger. Wicked Bounce by Naughty by Nature. Interesting. Wicked Bounce. I like that. Wicked Bounce is kind of like 9 degrees of Scorpio. Like, bounce, bitch. Do your wicked bounce. Pogo stick. Anyway, what was I saying? The song. Thomas Rhett, Die a Happy Man. This Venus woman figure sitting at her kitchen table, listening to the song, just kind of being doner than done with the message of the song. You know, it's kind of like all she wanted you to do was just hold her hand and stick by her side and yada, yada, yada. So the next thing it moves into is I start seeing her make this Molotov cocktail at the table. And all of a sudden, the next song that comes on the radio at random, I had Spotify on my liked playlist on random. You know how that goes. It gets hijacked. Anyway, the song that came on was Boom by the X Ambassadors. And you just have to sit down and play the 3 songs that I'm going to be talking about sequentially, just so you can get Venus's progression and what she's going through right now and to read the energy. So first it's Die a Happy Man. The second is Boom by X Ambassadors. And then the last song is Honestly Encore by 𝗵𝗵𝗱𝗀𝗃. Anyway, so she's brewing her witch's brouhaha because she's been burned and scorned. But she's not acting in a malicious F you kind of way. She's just going through this alchemical process of, well, so be it. You know, you want to burn me? Watch me burn. So she brews this Molotov cocktail. And all of a sudden I see her toss it, you know, like a explosive. Big, huge flame, big bomb goes off, and she just steps into the fire and phoenixes herself. She's like, honestly, encore this, bitches. I don't know. It was rad. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. Anyway, listen to it in sequence, see if you get the message, if it means anything to you. I just thought I would share it because it was badassery. You know, it was just feeling the readiness to throw herself into the flame. She's gonna go tomorrow in about less than 24 hours into Aries for good. She is essentially at this doner than done, been there, done that, last degree of Pisces, the highest of heights. She's on this cliff and she's gonna dive headfirst into the flames. And she doesn't care. She's like, I'm ready. She's ready for whatever that means and whatever comes of it. She's going completely bad astro. She's going gangstar. There's this sense too of earning one's wings. You did it, bitch. You effing did it. I've got the Goddess of Love Tarot, Lumicella Togetherness Quilt Oracle, and the Oracle of the Roses. Actually, I've got one card over here that I set aside for Leo's reading, and it said, bring it here. Actually, you know what? I'll also touch on the theme that is coming through for May. I'll talk about it briefly because I talk about it on the individual zodiac signs for the month, which is there's two themes coming up for the month of May. The first, I want to claim that I made this up, that I pulled it through, because I don't think I've ever heard it before. If anyone else has said it before, then I guess I didn't get it out first, but I'm definitely feeling like this made up word, this theme, is kind of hardcore. It's almost like my buzzness. It's like my business. It's essential to my brand. It's who I am and what I do, which is horticulture. So horticulture is a combination of heart and horticulture, essentially being a soul garden and being a tender of the heart and culturing, nurturing, creating creations that are from the heart. It's a garden from the heart. It's projects from the heart. It's a culture of heart-based creation. And it also applies to our food. As in, you are what you eat. So if we eat a lot of junk food that had no love sewn into it, grown into it, if you weren't raised on good loving by farmers that love their job and treat their animals with respect, talk to their vegetables, you know, like that's love, baby. That's love. That is horticulture. That is, you are what you eat. And gosh, wouldn't we all be healthier? Not healthier, experience greater wellness and vitality, feel so much better if all of our food was raised that way, if everything that we interacted with was made with heart instead of I heard fart. Farted out in a factory by some robot. You know, we just don't want that anymore. I don't. I want people to be employed doing things that they love doing. So I am going to be speaking about horticulture and really throwing our heart into our our passions, our hobbies, our work. I want to live in a house that had bricks made by hand. I want hand carved doors. I want tiles painted by hand. You know, that's craftsmanship, not crapsmanship. I've got some zingers in here. Craftsmanship. I like that. I'm going to come up with another word for craftsmanship that is the opposite of craftsmanship. Craftsmanship, yes. We're tired of craftsmanship. We're tired of ticky-tacky houses where they raise all the trees down to the ground. They don't integrate anything into the land. Don't get this girl started. Okay, Venus is taking this big vow right now. She's like, fuck this shit. And anyway, let's go back to the card because I'm veering off topic. The second thing, actually, before I go to the card, is mana. Mana being soul food. Mana being not the food that we physically ingest. It's the things that feed our heart, that feed our soul, that is craftsmanship, artistry, creation, hobbies, being in nature, spending time with loved ones, hanging out with our animals at a park. That is all mana. That is mana. And I can also constitute mana as nourishment from the stars, you know, the Milky Way versus spirits, where you're ingesting kind of toxic demon goo. You don't want that. It's not going to fill you up. It's going to leave you a hungry ghost. So the more you fill yourself up with mana, the less room these possessions, these ride-alongs, these hungry ghosts have to occupy you anyway. You can ensure that they have no room because you're just full. Interesting. Okay, so the card I've got that I got called to is 34, the Self. It's a modern garden rose. It's called the Madame 𝗵𝗀𝗀𝗡𝗃 rose. Madame 𝗵𝗀𝗀𝗃. Madame 𝗵𝗀𝗀𝗃. That's the message right there. Venus has been there, done that. She's seen some shit. She's been put through the ringer. She has been burned and scorned and treated like doo-doo. And she's going to toss herself in that Molotov cocktail, Phoenix fire, brouhaha, ignite a phoenix, and burn this down. Burn this down. Not in a destructive way. She'll take it down carefully. She'll deconstruct it surgically. But she's done. She's so done. And this 0 degrees Aries that she plunges into is the reset of the self. She is no longer incapable. She's no longer inept. She no longer feels like she's not the one, that she can't do. I said when Venus, it's a video that I deleted a long time ago. I said when Venus returns back into Aries, she would be doing a can-can dance, not a can't-can't dance. You know, she's no longer in this state of helplessness. She's no longer kicked down. She's no longer feeling like hot garbage or trashed. She doesn't care what anyone else's opinion of her is. She knows she is able. She's able-bodied too, you know? I like that this card has the suggestion of one person, one soul can change the world. Like, I can do it all by myself. Watch me. Not that that's the entirety of it, but one person can have such a huge ripple effect. They literally can change the world. And I feel like Venus goes into Aries doing her can dance, inspiring others. Like, you can. I believe in you. I believe in you. If I can, you can, okay? She's like, you're able to. You're able to too. We don't need imaginary man in the sky to sit around and wait for. You're able. You're able-bodied. You have two hands. Idle hands are the devil's work. Get to work. Doing some good shit. Let's pull a card out of the tarot deck. Move these out of the way. What else wants to come through today? I'm in such a better mood. You know what that shows too? It's so 9 degrees Taurus. Sometimes you just have to put your butt in the seat and force yourself to do it, especially when you don't want to. It's always this little stubborn contraption between your ears, more often than not. And now I'm in my flow state and I'm happy, in my element, glad I did it. That's always the case, right? Whenever you can't seem to initiate and start a thing, within about 5 minutes, if you just sit down for 5 minutes, I feel like there's something there for everybody. Ooh, there we go. How do I take this? One card came out in my hand, 2 cards came together. This is the new, this is the olds. This is what Venus is leaving in Pisces and what she can dances into in Aries. That 5 minutes. Okay, so that's what I was saying, is there's medicine there. If you, ta-da! Moon in Gemini is your head feeling like it doesn't want to do the thing. And Gemini is ruled by the number 5. If you tell your head 5 minutes and you make yourself do it for 5 minutes, I guarantee you get past the stickiness and the head's protesting and dragging its feet and not wanting to budge. You're welcome. And if you can't do the thing, do something similar for 5 minutes. If you can't get out your paintbrush, if you can't get out your pencils to do the art project, get out finger paints for 5 minutes. Get out crayons for 5 minutes. If you can't write that story for 5 minutes, write your frustrations out in your head for 5 minutes. I will say that is how I began channeling, actually. In 2017, I started channeling by writing in my journal every morning. January 1st, 2017, I said I was going to do it 365 days that year. 5 days in, I was like, I don't even know what to say anymore. There's nothing to talk about. So it was just kind of a bitch fest. It was just kind of me grumpy and this is hard. I don't like this. I can't do this. Blah, 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 blah. And it started to, I wanted to quit. I wanted to stop. And then I found some ways to make it a little bit more engaging and interesting and fun. I had this book that was a 365 days quote prompt book. So it had the quote and then the author's thoughts on that particular quote. And you just read a page a day. And making my own commentary on the quote and the passage opened up more creative juice, more gears turning in my head. In March, my daughter gifted me tarot cards for my birthday. I didn't start reading cards until 2017. That opened up another level. And it developed over time. There's something here about developing your craft, developing your genius, but it can't ever be tapped unless you get past the rookie part, the beginner part, the part where you're not in a flow state. You know what? I'm so freaking obsessed. Nobody has to dangle a carrot or bribe me to go write for hours. I can literally channel all day long. I could sit there and write about what the stars are doing 24 hours straight and give you new information all the time because the moon's constantly moving, the planets are constantly moving, the data's constantly changing. Anyway, suffice it to say, there's a lesson in this share for you where Venus kind of is a dried out mummy, a prune at this point, you know, it's like very exhausting to get to 29 degrees of Pisces. But if you can just reinvigorate yourself, put yourself in that seat for 5 minutes, make yourself, force yourself, be your own little devil, you're going to reach a new level. Oh, I was channeling yesterday, old devils, old levels. This is old devils, old levels. You know how they say new devils, new levels, but we're also putting to bed old levels and old devils where we're done with those characters and those old challenges. They're boring and yeah, they're expired. They're beyond expired. So that's what Venus is kind of working through right now, where she just feels very bored with her old dramas and her old traumas and her old challenges. And she's actually ready to dive into something different and harder. It's like, okay, do we really need to rehash those ones still? Can we find better problems to solve maybe? Let's look at the old first, and then we'll look at the new. I got the 5 of Pentacles and the 8 of Cups. Oh, shush, this is comical to me. It's 5 minutes, and what is it? Her butt. She needs to put her butt in the seat. The 8 of Cups is the energy of leaving something behind, walking away. So it's budging. She has to budge her butt for 5 minutes. Put yourself in that seat and make yourself budge for 5 minutes and guarantee you're going to start connecting the mental dots and getting it in gear. There's almost kind of oh, there's a heart at the very center there too. That's horticulture, where you know you want to do the thing. Why are you not doing the thing? It's because of this sometimes, you know, and then the fact that you do. Like, I had to put myself astro in this seat to make this message happen. Let's see what the new card is. 4 of Pentacles. Nice. Because you do the work, you put in the effort, you how do I want to put this? There's something about the decision being concrete. The 4 of Pentacles is about stability and 4 corners of a building, which is interesting because I was talking about craftsmanship. It's telling me that in order for all of us to tap into these new skills, these new crafts, we have to first put our butt in the seat and do the time, right? And doing that makes it a habit, develops the skill, develops the craft. And there's something here that what you're going to work on, what you're developing over time, is a key. It's the key to material success and stability, which could be completely different than what you're doing now. Or it's a spin-off. I'm hearing to pull a card for that spin-off energy where it could be a combination of different facets, different interests. Say, okay, with the horticulture for me, I'm a gardener. My heart, I love plants. I love to garden. I also love to do cards. This is my horticulture where I'm speaking to you as a plant, as a beautiful rose, to inspire you and to encourage you and to get you to think different and to be a cheerleader when the rest of the world is the naysayers and they don't get your vision. I encourage it. I want to say, go on with your bad self. Do it. I believe in you. You know, that's me combining a whole bunch of different facets of myself into one skill, one genius, one craft. It is horticulture, you know? It's like I'm gardening my audience. I'm tending your hearts. I'm encouraging your hearts. I hope I'm inspiring your hearts. I hope I'm giving you mana directly from the stars. Showing you my magic through the cards. I get to talk about the planet and doing better and caring for the Garden of Eden better. You know, it's like that's the thingy thing that we're amalgamating, making concrete, making solid. And I can't make my craft count unless I am visible and I keep going at it, even through frustration, even though I have 11 subscribers right now. Like, keep going. It'll catch on, you know? 100th monkey is something that keeps coming through. Shit, I lost my train of thought. What were we? Oh, the change of gears kind of thing was where we were. It's taking a while. It took me a long time to churn and shuffle the cards, and then one flew out. Where what I'm getting from that is you will have to go through multiple iterations where you're shuffling variables and getting the combination right. And once you get the combination just right, it will be kind of the winning numbers, the winning combination, and it'll be the key that unlocks your financial, professional, material success where you get known in your industry for that craft. But it's going to take trial and error and trying different variables, different combinations, experimenting, especially to see what lands with the audience, what they love. Oftentimes we get hung up on what we want, and that's not even what the collective truly needs from us, where we can be so hung up on an egoic construct of who we think we are that best serves the world, and we can't let go of it. It's like, how's that working for you? How's that working for you? There's something here about assets too. And I feel as if the goddess energy is very done with prostitution today. No, I'm not saying, let me be affirmative, like very executive with that. The goddess energy is ending being a prostitute, and she doesn't want her ass hanging out there like that anymore, where she has to sell sex in any way, shape, or form. So that is getting put down because she really wants to be known for her intellect and her genius and her skills, and not just have to pour herself out in any capacity where, you know, there's so many very talented people out there, but if they didn't hang their hits out online, they probably wouldn't get noticed for it, you know, which is sad. That's a sad state of affairs where, yeah, I'm going down a rabbit hole. Okay, so we've got Seven of Swords here with that change of variables and changing gears, switching things up. The Seven of Swords is the energy of duplicity and like hiding something, getting away with something. I'm going to add a rose card to that to get more depth. There's something about you're doing that to yourself. And it'll probably become more clear when Venus does go into Aries, the scientist. So that is that experimental quality. It's on the tip of my tongue. Hang in here with me. The Seven of Swords. The mental plane. So the card in this deck also does talk about the typical meaning, which is deception, either coming from someone else or you're fooling yourself, entangling yourself in false narratives to suit your desires. There is something here about what you're doing is just to suit your own desires or your own egos, or to make some sort of almost like political statement, instead of finding, like going through and crunching out what this skill or craft really wants to develop into, if that makes sense, where you're kidding yourself on some level, you're deceiving yourself. That's pretty deep. But with that, I also feel like don't throw in the towel and don't quit on yourself energy, where you can do that in your own head, where you will deceive yourself. Like, it's not working, which means I should give up. It's like, no, it just means you need to go back to the drawing board and crunch it. There's something about crunching numbers, crunching different combinations in your head, and really becoming a scientist again. Instead of getting disheartened, 9 degrees Taurus in a very low octave expression would just quit. It would just quit on itself. I give up. I've tried it 100 times. It's like, well, 101 was when Edison made the light bulb. I can't remember the exact number, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, don't give up on yourself. Try a different way. Try a different combination. Maybe you're hung up on something your ego thinks is the thing, and it's not. Anything else? It's feeling like that's trailing off there. We'll get two more cards, it says. Weaving bonds and moonlit dreams. Weaving bonds and moonlit dreams. The hand and the moon. This has 5 fingers. I always think of Gemini of the hands when I think of Gemini. So there's something here about idle hands are the devil's work. And by not pushing past both the mental hang up and the mood, the mood associated with it, you're letting dirt bags get away with shady stuff. There's something here about quality, because some of us that really have good ideas and do quality work and know there's a better way, we're being idle, we're being lazy, we're being stubborn. We don't want to push past our old hangups and bring these things into the world. And that's allowing shit and crap to keep being manufactured. It's very lazy, it's very lazy, this energy that I'm tapping here. Just we're going to have robots continue to manufacture plastic garbage because craftsmen and different industries and new ideas, like this has just this industrial revolution through better living through science, but not through chemical science and science that goes against nature, Anyway, I think I'm on my soapbox now, as a 29-degree Pisces energy would get you up there on your soapbox and ranting and raving about all the stuff that's wrong in the world. I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys join me for your individual zodiac signs. I'll be working on Leo next and hopefully getting everybody else out today. Thanks for joining me. Glad I sat down. I'm glad I pushed through. I hope you do too. Bye.